So I look at her, I'm like, you got half of the refund and you ain't tell us? So right now she got $900 came back to her card and we didn't know nothing about it. We all screaming at this bitch. Cause bitch, you the oldest. And bitch, this not our first rodeo with you. You done came up on a girls trip to Miami with us before. So why what the fuck you got going on? She had the $900 that they gave her back as the motherfucking money for her to spend in Miami. My job, we landed, I told y'all we landed at like 9 a.m. It's fucking 11:19 in the morning. Like, what? We still don't know what's going on.
Welcome back to another episode of Clocked Out Conversations. I'm your host, Vyncke, and today we got some more TikTok content. Part 1, girl's trip to Miami Airbnb was never booked and she stole our money. I'm not here to waste your time. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more, and let's get into it.
Okay, y'all, so I'm back with the story time because y'all is on my ass in the comments. So don't mind the cooking. I'm making dinner right now. So this is part 1 of how my ex-homegirl scammed me and my homegirls up on a Miami girls trip. So we're gonna hop straight into it. So first things first, y'all already know how the girl trips go. Everybody inside the group chat, we planning everything. Mind y'all, this is not our first rodeo. We didn't been up on a girl trip way before, plenty of times with this same girl, right? So this girl name is gonna be Crystal. That's not her name, but we're gonna use her name as Crystal in the story. So Crystal was in charge of the Airbnb, right? So Crystal done booked us Airbnbs in the past. We fine and dandy. Everything is good with the Airbnb. So of course we put her in charge. So whenever we put Crystal in charge, we found us an Airbnb. That Airbnb was $1,500. It was 7 of us, and we all busted down equally whenever we booked it, right? So that Airbnb got booked. So we did have a booked Airbnb. We had one. 2 days prior to us boarding our flight, the Airbnb people reached out from the people that we booked originally. They reached out and told us that we could not book the house anymore because the guests before us, they had did something inside the house where the people had to fix it up, whatever. So now it's time for us to look for another Airbnb right before our trip. So it was time for us to book another Airbnb. So we looking for Airbnbs. We found us an Airbnb that we all agreed on. This Airbnb was $1,200. So, you know, if something like that was to happen to y'all, y'all will all bust it down the middle again, and just pay whatever is 200 divided by 7. Just like how we did the first Airbnb. Well, this time, whenever it's time to book, she was like, y'all don't worry about it. I'll pay the full amount for the Airbnb. So we all like, you know, I mean, shit, if you got $200 that you just want to spend on the Airbnb by yourself, then you can do it. Like, I mean, we're not tripping. Mind you, this is a close friend. So we like, shit, she ain't got no kids. Maybe you got some money. So she sent us something like a confirmation, and we had another house. So that, at least we thought. So we ended up, you know, like we getting ready. I think our flight boarded at our flight took off at 7 in the morning. So we all in the group chat at 5 in the morning. We like, y'all up, you know, woo, getting ready, getting prepared. So once we get to the airport, I can kind of tell that she's being weird. Like, she's not happy. She's not excited. And at the airport, she's trembling. Like, she's shaking a little bit. Like, you know, whenever you cold, you kind of shake. She kind of shaking. So I'm not thinking nothing of it, though. It's like I'm peeping it, but I'm not thinking nothing of it. So once we get on the airplane, I had a window seat, and then my other 2 friends sat next to me, and then she was inside the aisle seat. She just kind of kept looking at me. Mind you, this was my friend the longest. She was a client, and she became a friend, so I introduced her to all my friends. She had been around me and my friends for some years. So she just was steady looking at me on the plane. again, I'm not thinking nothing of it. You know, I'm just like, oh, maybe we're happy. So then, like, right before we got off the flight, she ended up buying everybody some shots on the flight. You know, like we making TikToks and stuff on the flight. So it's time to get off. We landed inside Miami. We lit. We ready to get it started. So, mind you, she the one who making all the TikToks. So we make another TikTok once we land. So we get to the airport. We go down to baggage claim. While we're at baggage claim, she starts crying. Mind you, she was the oldest out of everybody. Crystal was 28. At the time, we was like 26, 25, you know. So we like, what you crying for? She like, I don't understand why these Airbnbs keep canceling. So we like, oh, like, damn. So, stay tuned for part 2. Okay, y'all, I'm back. Damn, part 2. Y'all in the comments on my ass. Sisters, I'm coming. Like, damn, I had to take these kids to school. It was a lot of shit I had to do. Y'all gonna get what y'all want. I promise. Just hold on. All right, so y'all ready for part 2? Because it gets a little juicy. And first and foremost, some girl in the comments talking about I'm not making this shit up. Baby, this is real deal. I got receipts in this phone. You understand me? To get up on TikTok and make a whole lot up is kind of crazy work. I don't even move like that. This shit happened in real life, real time, like for real. Okay, so whenever I stopped recording the video, I had went and I did my research. So I did lie a little bit. So the first Airbnb house that we booked, that we all put in our money, was $1,800. I told y'all it was $15. It was actually $18. And the house that Crystal wanted to pay for was $1,500. So that's where I lied at. That's the only thing I lied about. I forgot. Mind y'all, this shit happened in 2022. So I had to refresh my memories. I had to call some homegirls and be like, woo. And they told me. I'm like, okay, y'all right. So the part that I left off on was basically, we wasn't feeling her vibe because once we got off of the plane, it just wasn't giving. So we ended up going we ended up walking to baggage claim, and after we walked to baggage claim, that's when she looked at her phone and she was like, damn, like they just canceled the Airbnb. We like, damn, not another one. So one of my friends left to go charge her phone because her phone was gonna die. She thought it to grab her bag. So she ended up calling Airbnb customer service. When she called Airbnb customer service, I hear her on the phone saying a refund, 15 days. Like, she said shit like that. So I just wasn't feeling it. And that's when the tears started kind of coming down her eyes when she was on the phone with them. I wasn't feeling that shit. So I ended up texting my homegirl. And my drug got receipts for all this. I'm going to show y'all. I texted my homegirl and I'm just like, I'm not feeling this. Like, I feel like she doing this shit on purpose. Like, I feel like all this shit is playing out at this point, because what are you crying for if the Airbnb got canceled? All we gotta do is find out the Airbnb or figure out what happened, just like we did the first one. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, y'all in the comments, y'all was saying how why they didn't give us a refund. They canceled the Airbnb before we left. So at the time, they didn't have all that credit. This was in 2022. I don't think they had all that. We had no choice but to wait upon our refund to come back to her card because we sent her the money. So that's what I'm saying. Y'all didn't even let me finish the story before y'all get in the comments trying to get up on my ass and I like, be cool. So she on the phone with Airbnb. I text my friend. At that point, like an hour and 30 minutes passed by. We all getting a little impatient because what you on the phone for? You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to start talking to us. So she ended up coming to what we said, tell us about what was going on. And she basically was just like that Wells Fargo took the money out, but Airbnb ain't get it. Some bullshit like that. So we like, okay, well, if that happened, just show us your Wells Fargo banking app so we can see the bank statement to where it say $1,500 is gone. She was making an excuse of how she couldn't log into the Wells Fargo app or something. It was pure bullshit. I don't even remember exactly what she was saying. I just know it was something with Wells Fargo and Airbnb. So we like call Airbnb again. So she called them and she asked some questions, but she ain't asking the right questions, baby. We need to speed this up. At this point, it's gonna be 2 hours since we've been inside this airport, and you ain't got no questions you ain't got no answers for us. So we need a little bit more answers, Bookie. Sam, she wasn't giving us the right answers, so I snatched the phone up out of her hand. Give me that, boo, because you playing with us, and we tired, we hungry, we've been up all motherfucking morning, bitch. Let's go. So I snatched the phone. I asked the lady. My first question to the lady was, what happened with our first Airbnb? She said that it got canceled due to situations as the Airbnb host, and the refund was being issued back. Okay, so like at the beginning of this video, I told y'all that at first I thought it was $1,500. It was $1,800. So we paid a first half whenever we first booked, and then we paid another half. Y'all know how to do half and half. That's what we did. So I'm like, okay, so when is the refund supposed to be coming back? She said that partial refund got back to her card like 2 days before we left. I think it said up on a Monday. Mind y'all, I did her hair on a Monday. So I look at her, I'm like, you got half of the refund and you ain't tell us? So right now she got $900 came back to her card, and we didn't know nothing about it. So boom, I say, okay, what happened with the second Airbnb that she booked? The man, there's no second Airbnb booked on him. What? Through the phone. Oh, bitch, at this point, we all getting on her ass. Like, we're all getting on her ass. Literally, like, we all screaming at this bitch. Because, bitch, you the oldest. And, bitch, this not our first rodeo with you. You done came up on a girls trip to Miami with us before. So why, what the fuck you got going on? So, we in the airport, like, we going off. We like, bitch, you got half of our refund. You ain't tell us. Woo woo. She pulls out $900 in cash. That's all she had. She had the $900 that they gave her back as the motherfucking money for her to spend in Miami. Ma'am, how did you think this? What type of green ass bitches you thought you was hanging with? Like, that's just absolutely absurd, for real. Okay. Now this is where I got messages. It is not gonna say the year because I went back and I looked at my screenshots. So I text my friend, bitch. I said, Crystal talk about the Airbnb council. She like, what the fuck? I'm like, right. She said, bitch, did she show you the reservation? I said, she said, well, y'all reading it. Y'all read it. But this is where I'm telling y'all, we got receipts from this. And then here's the conversation still going. Mind y'all, we landed, I told y'all we landed at like 9 a.m. It's fucking 11:19 in the morning. Like, what? We still don't know what's going on. So I told y'all, she was shaking. She was shaking, she was crying. Bitch, it gave you're guilty. Like, and you knew you was guilty. Like, the fuck? Okay, so I just gave y'all part 2. This is part 3. We finna finish it off. This is from the Airbnb host. This is one screenshot. This is another screenshot. The Airbnb host telling us that she been took her payment away before we left. Here go the last screenshot. So, yeah, it was definitely on her. She did this to herself. And it's like you did this and you didn't even have nowhere to stay. That didn't make sense. So, we was waiting up on my other friend. She took another flight to get in. She don't even know what's going on. She don't even know that we're stranded here with no home. We're homeless in Miami. Homeless in Miami is absolutely crazy, like, for real. So she finally lands. Mind y'all, it was 4 people who's on the trip birthdays. Literally. Like, we celebrate them. So they're mad. They're angry. Like, everybody is going off. She's steady crying. We made her get up and go apologize to everybody whose birthdays it was. She had this big sweaty stain on the back of her butt. Like, it was horrible. Like, you first of all, you too grown for all that. You too grown. So we ended up making her apologize, and we made her give each of us $100 up out of the $900 because you're not gonna have fun out here, especially up on our dime. That's kind of crazy. Like, absolutely not. Then just how you move with the whole money situation was just weird, and we just wasn't messing with it. So we made her give us each $100. And then we told her that she can't come with us. We left her at the Miami International Airport. And when I tell y'all, we did not see her. We have not seen her since. Crystal had a wig company. Crystal had a food truck. Crystal left everything behind. Like, she literally fell off of the face of the earth. We have not seen Crystal since January 2022 in Miami. Supposedly she moved to Dallas. Well, she did move to Dallas because somebody sent me her Crystal Instagram. Crystal Facebook, and I hit her up. I might show y'all them messages. I don't know. But yeah, and I know some of y'all probably like, why y'all ain't beat her up? But it's like, beat her up and then go to jail in Miami. We already homeless. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of crazy. So yeah, nobody beat her up. Nobody slapped her. We should have, but we didn't. Whenever we got back to Houston, I went to her mama's house twice. Her mama didn't answer the door the first time. The second time, mama opened the window for me and said she not here. Weirdos. All weirdos. But yeah, y'all, that's what happened. And I'm going to finish it off with this, because everybody asking me what was her plan when she did this. So this is what I think, okay? Follow along. This is what I wholeheartedly believe of what she thought was going to happen. So boom, we all put in up on the first house that was $1,800. We all put in like 200 something, right? We had already spent that money. We already waiting on that money, and we don't know when that money gonna come back. So here she is like, damn, I ain't got no money to go on the trip no more. I gotta figure something out. So she said, okay, well, let me tell them I'm going to book the whole entire Airbnb. For the second time, I'm gonna use my money. Right? But she never used her money, right? Okay. Y'all following along? All right. She never used her money. So once we landed inside Miami and she told us that it canceled again, I guess she thought that, okay, Crystal had already put up her money for whenever we all went half up on the first house. She didn't put $1,500 up on the second house. The third house, y'all gotta pay for it. Because I didn't already put so much money in it, y'all need to just go and pay for the third house. You know what I'm saying? Just like how we did. Like, even whenever we left her at the airport, we all had to put in more money to get another house. So that's what I think she thought was gonna happen. But like, she did better trying to scam for the house or something. Like, it's no way you thought that we was not gonna catch on. But that's what I think. I feel like that's what makes more sense, right? She like, okay, well, y'all gonna have to pay for the house. I didn't already put in, and then it's like she already got half of the refund, so she got some spending money. She probably was gonna pay us up out of the second refund. I'm pretty sure the second refund was gonna come by right before we left from Miami. But everything backfired on her. Because that just wasn't gonna work, boo. That just wasn't gonna work. Absolutely not. So yeah, and like I said, this was a friendship that I have had for a very long time. This is somebody who I trusted, and yes, she did show us like a confirmation, but the confirmation said like waiting for approval or something. It was one of those houses that like you had to get approved for it first. So again, like I told y'all, we've been up on a trip with this same girl before. She's always over like stuff like that. So we didn't second guess it. We just like, okay, babe, like we good. Cause why would you do something like that? You know? But I think I'm gonna go live and y'all can ask me questions, whatever else y'all got.
So, what do you guys think about this story time? I think, again, this is a prime example of sisters needing to discern who they hang around and who they make friends of. That woman was a thief the entire time. During the entire time in you all's friendship, I guarantee you she thought about stealing from you before. She thought about doing you grimy before. They're just red flags that you probably did not pick up on. But overall, I think that it is good that this sister decided to step away from that woman and decided to disassociate herself from her, as well as all of the other friends that went on that trip with her. I think that that was in their best interest given how vile of a character she was. But let me know down below. Do you guys agree with me that it was a good thing that she decided to disassociate with her and decided to make sure she got her money back, or what money she could get back, so that her and her friends could enjoy the rest of the trip without her? Or do you guys think that they should have tried to settle it and figure it out amongst everybody, including the woman that stole, to see if they could reform and refashion and rekindle their friendship? Thanks for tuning into this Clocked Out Conversation. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.